November is the 11th month of the year in the Julian and Gregorian calendars and one of 4 months with the length of 30 days. November was the 9th month of the ancient Roman calendar. November retained its name when January and February were added to the Roman calendar. November is a month of spring in the Southern Hemisphere and autumn in the Northern Hemisphere. Therefore, November in the Southern Hemisphere is the seasonal equivalent of May in the Northern Hemisphere and vice versa. November starts on the same day of the week as February in common years and March every year. November ends on the same day of the week as August every year. November starts on the same day of the week as June of the previous year in common years and September and December of the previous year in leap years. November ends on the same day of the week as March and June of the previous year in common years and September of the previous year in leap years. In years immediately before common years, November starts on the same day of the week as August of the following year, while in years immediately before leap years, November starts on the same day of the week as May of the following year. In years immediately before common years, November ends on the same day of week as May of the following year, while in years immediately before leap years, November ends on the same day of the week as February and October of the following year. Events in November. All Saints' Day, a Christian holy day, is celebrated on November 1st. The day before, Halloween, is therefore All Hallows' Eve. In Sweden, the All Saints official holiday takes place on the first Saturday of November. November 1st, a Euro Day of the leaders of the Bulgarian National Revival. In Ireland, November 1st is regarded as the first day of winter. November 1st is called November Day in Celtic tradition and is thus named in the Irish calendar, where the month is called noh-VEM-bər. In the Christian calendar, November 2nd is All Souls' Day. It is known in Mexico as El Día de los Muertos, and the whole month of November is especially dedicated to praying for the dead. Britain and New Zealand celebrate Guy Fawkes Night, the anniversary of the failed gunpowder plot, on November 5th. In Indonesia, November 10th is known as National Heroes Day. November 10th is the birthday of the United States Marine Corps. Independence Day in Angola on November 11th. Independence Day in Poland on November 11th. Feast Day of Saint Martin of Tours. This is celebrated with parades in which the children carry lanterns, which they continue to carry as they go from door to door singing traditional songs for candy, which tradition arises from the same roots as trick-or-treating on Halloween, when people used to go around collecting soul cakes. The parades usually feature a man in the costume of a Roman centurion on a horse and end with a reenactment of the old legend of the saint dividing his cloak to share it with a beggar. Remembrance Day is celebrated on November 11th in the Commonwealth of Nations and various European countries to commemorate World War I and other wars. It is known as Veterans Day in the United States. In India, Children's Day is celebrated on November 14th, the birthdate of first Indian Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. World Diabetes Day is celebrated on November 14th. The Leonid meteor shower reaches its peak around November 17th. National Prematurity Awareness Day is November 17th. Latvian Independence Day is November 18th. Discovery to the eastern world of Puerto Rico by Christopher Columbus on November 19, 1493. International Men's Day is commemorated on November 19. Día de la Revolución Cubana, or Revolution Day, is celebrated in Mexico on November 20. Transgender Day of Remembrance has occurred on November 20 each year in the United States since 1999. National Adoption Day Euro November 21. Independence Day in Lebanon is November 22. Rudolf Meister Day in Slovenia is on November 23. On November 24 each year, Loket Divas is celebrated statewide in Assam, India, to commemorate the heroism of the great General Loket Borphukon and the victory of the Assamese army over the Mughal army at the Battle of Sarahat in 1671. Suriname celebrates its Independence Day on November 25. International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women on November 25. Albanian Independence Day is on November 28. Scotland celebrates St Andrew's Day, its official national day, on November 30. Since 2006 it has been an official bank holiday. Argentina celebrates the Day of National Sovereignty on November 20, to commemorate the Vuelta de Obligado battle. It has been declared an official national holiday in 2010. The United States and Puerto Rico observe Thanksgiving on the fourth Thursday in November. For Western Christians, Advent usually begins on a Sunday during the last week of November. Month-long observances: Native American Heritage Month, Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, COPD Awareness Month, National Novel Writing Month, National Blog Posting Month, Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month, American Diabetes Month, Lung Cancer Awareness Month, National Homeless Youth Awareness Month, Crohn's and Ulcerative Colitis Awareness Month, National Pomegranate Month in the United States, Holy Souls in Purgatory, National Stomach Cancer Awareness Month, National Prematurity Awareness Month, Epilepsy Awareness Month, Sweet Potato Awareness Month, No Shave November, noʊ-vɛmbər, National Adoption Awareness Month, National Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness Month, Transgender Awareness Month, Movable Events. First Tuesday, in Australia, the Melbourne Cup horse race is held annually on the first Tuesday in November. Tuesday after the first Monday, in the United States, elections are held on the Tuesday after the first Monday of November. In even-numbered years, members of the House of Representatives are elected to 2-year terms, and about one-third of the U.S. Senate are elected to 6-year terms. The President of the United States is elected in doubly even-numbered years. Most U.S. states, counties, and municipalities have some part of their election cycle coincident with this date. Third Wednesday, GIS Day is held the third Wednesday of November during Geography Awareness Week. Third Thursday, the Great American Smokeout sponsored by the American Cancer Society occurs on the third Thursday of November, 1 week before Thanksgiving. Smokers are encouraged to quit smoking for these 24 hours, in hopes that they will quit forever. International Philosophy Day, Beaujolais Nouveau is released. Fourth Thursday in the U.S., Americans celebrate Thanksgiving on the fourth Thursday of November. The day after Thanksgiving in the U.S., a famous day for shopping known as Black Friday. Buy Nothing Day, Monday immediately following Thanksgiving Day in the U.S., Cyber Monday, November symbols. November's birthstones are the topaz, which symbolizes friendship, and the citron. Its birth flower is the chrysanthemum. The zodiac signs for the month of November are Scorpio and Sagittarius. See also, historical anniversaries, references.